It's very interesting. Good morning. Good
Good
morning to
morning.
you.
And I hope you're well.
I'm fine.
Great. I wonder what you make of this, because that essentially then people will start thinking about it. Sociology, when we go and study, what do we do? And then you start mentioning the courses and thinking about what immediate job opportunities can you match with what you're studying.
Yeah.
Is that the way to think?
Then I think thank you very much. I've listened to Prof. Dawina, the prof from UDS, and I think it's the same point I also have to make. But first of all, I have three very important points to make. Let me start by saying that I want to be a bit charitable to Dr. Yadutu. You remember, this was the educational minister who described me as an ignorant lecturer because I criticized the space agent. For 8 years, this man was at the helm of the Ministry of Education. He was a deputy to Dr. Matthew Opoku Prenko. Is that not correct, Nana?
Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, yes.
The first term of Nana Akufo-Addo. Then became the substantive minister for 4 years. And as Nancy said, I don't repeat what Nancy said this morning, because I think Nancy have made justice to that aspect. But I see one thing I want to also add is that under the leadership of this man as education minister, children were fed with maggot infested rice. True or false?
True. Yes.
And today, my daughter, who is in Holy Child, is going to school. And she tells me that under the leadership of a lawyer who didn't do education, I do so. She eats well without struggle for food, and she's attending a better 3 SHS. So you see, let's move on. So for me, if such a person who was under the help of education for 8 years wouldn't do any reformation or reform anything there, and come and tell us today that, there are some courses and events which are not very important, it's very unfortunate. Now, as all the speakers have said this morning, university education is a universal education. You are supposed to train students to acquire skills, knowledge, social skills, so that they can apply those skills to the various aspects of life or disciplines. So if you are doing sociology, I'm teaching sociology, I'm teaching you to acquire knowledge and skills about human behavior and society. So that whether you are going to work in a hospital, in the market, in the mortuary, you need to understand how human beings behave. How I've always told my students, when they ask, what can you do? I tell them, anywhere human beings are interacting, there's sociology. Because in the hospital, that's why if you come to the University of Ghana, the medical students take a course called medical sociology. Because then, if you go to a medical doctor, the doctor needs to even look at your family history, look at your environment, the recent flood. Somebody comes from East Lagos, somebody comes from, let's say, Kaukudi. The doctor cannot treat both of them on their environment differently, like the same. So every medical student takes medical sociology because we believe that we need to also let you know about the social background of the patients and other people. So if a whole minister of education who did MA in educational policy and management, whatever he calls it, could sit on national radio, and you see, so the sad thing was that if you listen to the interview, I've seen the interview and the transcript that the reporter reported. He said when he said one of the VCs complained that people started withdrawing the program. Did you read about the story?
Yes, he said that.
The man was creating fear and panic, which was wrong. And he said he told the VC that it is good for him. So can you imagine? So for me, my point is that the Lucho should have known that, as Nancy said, university education is not to train to become carpenters or let's say to become masons, engineers. No, that's why you have technical institutions. Let me give you a story. So now I always tell students this thing. There's something in sociology called sociological imagination, which basically is that you must always understand people from their environment. So, for example, let's say Nancy and Sebiga are bank managers. Nancy is a manager in East Legon, and Sebiga is a manager in Kaukudi market. If the two of them are supposed to go and do a marketing product, Nancy, who is at East Legon, does not need to go to market with them. He can do online bank because these are people who are educated to know. But Sadika, who is a manager in Kakudi, cannot do online banking and mobile banking, other things. Because the environment determines how people relate. So there's this student of mine who came to me 2 years after we taught this social imagination and told me a story about she was recruited by this marketing company to use her product with some students from marketing department business school. So when they were going out to talk to people about the new toothpaste product from the company, they met a group of young people who were carpentry, were doing something somewhere. So they tried to introduce the concept. The boys were indifferent. And the girl realized that the guys were discussing EPL, Chelsea, Liverpool. They quickly remembered sociological imagination and I told them. You know what this girl did? She went on Saturdays and Sundays, followed the EPL scores, the matches. Chelsea, Liverpool, or Lampard was playing well, or Gerrard missed the ball, or Salah missed. Then when she came the next Monday morning to where the guys were, he started interacting with them to start EPL. So do you know that she was able to sell the product and the marketing student for business school? What does it tell you? She was able to understand the skills I taught her in sociological imagination. Because she was doing marketing, she applied it and she was able to be retained. Now she's doing a master's in the US on marketing policy and research. That is the essence of university education. You see, the issue is about the job market. That's why universities are always also improving their program. So now when I went to Lagos in 2004, classes was a department of its own. Today, Lagos have combined classes and philosophy together. So we want to meet the emerging market. The duty of the policy maker is to create the job market. He talks about education, non-teaching. So now, look at the number of private schools we have today. If we train people who are not even teachers, as Nancy rightly said, people can be administrators in private schools. Is that not the case? So can you tell me that is not important? As a minister and deputy minister, how many opportunities or jobs did he create? Well, you can come and tell us that some courses are not relevant. And I don't want to read the article written by Professor Asare. And I agree. It is an issue about these same education managers like who are supposed to provide opportunity for people. But not come and tell us that some courses are not very important. I think it's a very unfortunate statement and people must call him to order. As I said, I want to be charitable. I don't want to use words to describe me as he described me because I criticize research. I think, as Nancy said, we must understand that university education is universal education. So now I'm not sure you went to journalism school. Do you go to journalism school?
Yes, I did. I have a first degree, not necessarily in journalism.
You mentioned Wachi.
Yes.
I don't think Mugabe and Kuwen, but Obiansa didn't go to journalism. But one of the best journalists of even Kwame Sabakani. I won't call it Sabakani. Because journalism school. No. So we shouldn't do this to ourselves. When you do this, you are creating in the minds of the children that be education or teaching is not important.
Okay.
And as you was saying, so I think that let him sit, reflect that he failed as a minister of education. That first teachers was poorly managed. That is what we should be talking about, not university programs. Thank you.
Prof. Doc, thank you. Thank you very much. Dr. Samson Obedapia is a sociologist. He lectures sociology. Join us on the line. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll come and conclude. SM is here. SM will talk to us. SM did teaching without teaching. So he did do teaching but thoughts. So SM, you have questions to answer.
Good energy powers the things that people do to empower themselves. It fuels families, communities, businesses. Good energy fuels nations. It gets things going and keeps them moving. Good energy isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Goyle, good energy.
National Petroleum Authority say, Mawa Bambo hu hiya ukane. Ain't no, stay back and and stay safe. National Petroleum Authority ebo bibia kokose se fuel tank enya akwanhia na edane a menko ho nkwaye wadwen se okosesa petrol ana fango no na afin so menye wadwen se wo ben fuel tank enya akwanhia ne ho akwa kodwetwa videos ana pictures na petrol ana fango wo wen so ohua ko wo mu a enye sunsu aso bone ewo apomoden sem so fango so eho ahometinti no enfom so akitu ebi ebetumi ameja tom ama na gise wom eba ne saa nipa dodo timi femu hyehye ehwe mo nkwa emeja pade dodo na nso esei eno nti memfa won nkwa nto chacha enye saa obenu ho nkwa na nyina se wo se fuel tank bi enya akwanhia na adane amafango no ebugu mpo a hwa na wa aman ho da. Stay back and stay safe. Emomo no aya fredum je jumayefo ana posifo no mo mehwe nso ano wutumi nso efre na